Hi guys, it's Rebecca. So there's a couple of things to consider in preparation for your appointment time. So down below, you'll see there's a couple links. If you are a brand new client and haven't filled out before, you're gonna need to fill out the consent form, and you're also gonna need to sign the policies and rates form. And this just kind of goes over the logistics of your appointment. If you're interested in not an in-person treatment, but a consultation, you still have to fill out those forms, okay? And then there'll be additional forms for a consultation. You can find that on my website, actually how to start that process. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is to go in and fill out your horse's history questionnaire. So that's an online questionnaire through Google Forms, and the link is down below for that also. And then the third thing that we're sort of implementing new starting in 2024 is that I'm really going to ask people to share with me their chief complaint about their horse on all subsequent visits. And that way I can get some feedback about a little more history of what's going on with the horse from week to week or month to month, and have that in a little bit more formal setting as opposed to us just chit-chatting about your horse's history. So that'll be something that I write down and mark in your chart, because I'm also going to ask you to rate that on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being very mild, and of course 10 being very extreme. So let's just say that your horse has had a history of some stifle pain. And when I first see you, it's like an 8. The horse is very lame or something like that. And then between either what I've done or what other therapists have done or your vet or whatever, now the pain seems to be down to a 3. We just want to mark that over a period of time. I think it's always helpful to go back and look at that because we forget, right? We forget, and sometimes we even forget that some symptoms have gone away. And I think that's just useful for me and for you to have feedback on the horse on. It's very subjective, but it also adds a little bit of objectivity to it because we mark it down and we can go back and look at it and say, oh, back in March, we thought that this horse's back pain was, a scale of 6. And now you're saying you're not really having any back pain at all. And it just really helps us determine what therapies are working, maybe where things are not working, maybe where we have to, call in the vet or we have to change things up. And that is really important for your horse's health. And with all that, I'm also going to start requesting that people tell me what therapies they want me to use. Over the past 20 years, the list of therapies that I've included through my education, through my formal education, not just little side things that I've taken here and there, has gotten pretty lengthy. And so I need everybody to tell me what they want me to work on with their horse. And part of that's going to be dictated about what the horse is responding to or what the horse is taking a liking to better. Part of it is going to be determined based on your horse's chief complaint. But there is some therapies in there that overlap or that you just might have a feel would help your horse best, and I'm always open to that suggestion. And I can't do them all, and I think that's what this sort of kind of comes down to is I can't do all of them in 1 hour treatment. And it's not even a time management thing. It's that you cannot overwhelm the horse's body with too much input. So for instance, we know this in acupuncture, it's like, pick what you're treating, pick 1 or 2, maybe 3 things. A lot of times those 3 things end up being related, and so that's why it usually ends up being 1 chief complaint. But, you're going to pick 1 to 2 things and you're going to concentrate on them. Because if you pick say your horse has 10 issues, highly unlikely, but let's just say, and you pick all 10 of them, you're just going to overwhelm the body and it's not going to know what to do. It's just going to start to get overwhelmed and confused, and it's going to be too much input. And so that also is the case with all the different therapies, right? So I don't need to do acupuncture and moxa and essential oil, aroma point. I don't need to do Tween Na NE stem, it's overkill. So I really think it's important for you guys to have the power in your hands to pick which one of those therapies that you would like to have your horse receive. And also we can have a discussion about that, about what I think is best, and sometimes I have to try things with horses depending on, and we find out what works best for them. So that's this is just opening up those lines of communication for that. Okay, so that's kind of like how to prep for your appointment. This is just a place for us to start the conversation, to start the process, to figure out what's best for your horse. And I look forward to seeing you at your appointment. If you are wanting to schedule a consultation, so that's changed a little bit. And so all that information I will put in a link down below so that you can learn a little bit more about the consultation process.